My name is Brian Henritzi, and I'm one of the Associate Directors in the Office of Adolescent Catechesis and Evangelization for the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. What I want to do in this short video is cover some simple ways that you can help utilize your catechists, volunteers, core members, whatever you call them, within a virtual setting. First, share responsibility for meeting activities. There's no need for one person to run every aspect of a gathering. Identify ways that you can utilize people that meets their gifts and talents. Some things could be assign someone to manage the wait list for your meeting, assign someone to lead the opening or closing prayer, assign someone to lead an activity, a game, an icebreaker. Invite one of your catechists to share a reflection on a part of the teaching or to share their personal witness story as a part of the night. Anything you can do to reach out and engage your catechist will help them to feel more included and a bigger part of the team as we enter into this virtual ministry environment. Second, involve your team in the planning process. When one person does all of the planning for a program, it's easy for the style and flow for the gatherings to become repetitive or to fall into some sort of cookie cutter pattern. So, one thing you can do is you can recognize that God has called each person on your team to be there for a reason, to bring forward the gifts and the charisms that God has given them to serve in ministry. And so this doesn't mean that you need to have every single person on your team involved in every decision for every virtual gathering. But it does mean that you, as the leader, as the coordinator of ministry or the director of youth ministry, can identify the gifts and charisms that your team has and pull those out and utilize those. But this involves them being part of the planning process. Three, ensure that everyone is on the same page. This can be done in several ways. First, make sure that you send out a detailed outline or agenda for your session well in advance. I like to recommend at least 5 to 7 days in advance. That way people have a chance to read through it and to know everything that's going on. Then resend that the day before as a reminder for those who may have missed it or who got busy and weren't able to see. Lastly, make sure that your team is gathering with you 15 to 20 minutes ahead of time within your virtual space. This allows you to quickly go over the agenda, allows you to make sure everyone knows what they have to do, and it allows you to communicate any last minute changes that may need to take place so that the meeting can run as smoothly and efficiently as possible. Last, make sure that you train your team in small group facilitation. One of the main ways that you can engage volunteers within this virtual environment is to designate them as small group facilitators. Now, in small group time, that doesn't mean that they get to get up and give another talk or to get on a soapbox and to spend the next 20 minutes sharing and talking about what they want to. A small group facilitator facilitates the conversation. And here are 5 essential facilitation skills that you can consider utilizing and teaching to your volunteers. 1, they need to get the discussion started. And this often starts with asking the right question. Now, you could easily get in and ask, okay, everyone, how was your day? And then be met with a whole, range of blank stares. Or you could ask something like, what was the most exciting thing that happened to you today? Or what was one unexpected thing that happened to you today? Getting the conversation started begins with asking the right questions. Second skill is keep the discussion moving. Now, no, I did not say keep the discussion on topic. Keep the discussion moving. Sometimes the Holy Spirit will move the discussion into a different direction. As a facilitator, your job is to know when that spirit is moving and to allow and to gear it that way, or to adjust the rudder of that boat and get yourselves back on course. Third, summarize important points. That means that they can Third, summarize important points. That means at the end of someone sharing, you summarize and reflect back what they said. Or at the end of the session, you summarize some of the key things. I really liked how you shared this. Frankie, this was really insightful where you said that. Sarah, I really appreciated you sharing this aspect. This helps to emphasize to the people in your group that they are valued and that their opinion matters. Always respond with positive feedback. Even if someone shares something that you don't like or something that is different, say something like, well, that's interesting. I had never thought of it that way. I really appreciate you sharing. That lets them know that even if they don't agree with you as the facilitator, that their voice is still heard and that they can still be free to share what they want. And in the long run, this is going to help you build relational collateral with them so that you can draw them deeper into the heart of Jesus Christ. So as a leader, all these things you can help train. And you want to remember, train them in those facilitation skills. You want to ensure that everyone's on the same page. You want to involve them in the planning process, and you want to share responsibility for the meetings. These are just some ways that you can utilize your catechist in a virtual setting.